The Premier of New Brunswick announced recently that he's going to change the law so that if somebody is transitioning their gender in school, the teachers have to tell the parents. Heretofore, they said, well, it's none of the family's business. Our Prime Minister and some of his ministers are saying, you can't trust that to families. It's not safe. You can trust it to the schools. Catherine Kronas is a parent in Ontario, mother of two, and you're joining me right now because in our discussions, you're concerned about this, but you told me this is also the case in Ontario.
Yes, it is. It's the case in schools throughout the province where it is now common policy, it is built into the policies that parents are not to be told if a child wants to transition in schools. Parents are not to be told without having the child's consent to tell the parents.
How long has that been policy? I know a lot of parents are not going to even know about that.
I'm not exactly sure exactly when the policies, it's been happening for a long time, but I know recently in Hamilton, just last week, they released a gender identity policy that explicitly states this to be the fact.
And I guess it's in other jurisdictions across Canada as well.
It is in every school board throughout the province.
There was no vote on this. There is no, as far as I'm aware, I know a lot of people right now are flabbergasted that this is the case, that their, little Sally can turn into Stephen at school and be going for years without them knowing.
This is exactly the problem. Parents are absolutely irate that when they find out about this.
Right.
Children as young as 4 years old can be basically given a new name and pronoun
right.
without parental consent, and this is not safe for children.
Well, tell me why it's not safe for children.
Because it puts children on a path of potentially medicalization for life. So we know.
When you say medicalization, you mean changing sex physically?
Potentially, yes.
Which happens, reasonably often now, I understand, in Ontario and other jurisdictions. And if you're going from a male to a female and they have an operation, you can't reverse that.
That is correct.
And what about the fact that, kids can be kids and, in puberty you can be confused and people now are saying, I'm 19, I had an operation and I shouldn't have had an operation.
Children are too young to consent, to have informed consent to make any of these decisions. They should be under parental authority and they should not be transitioning when they're students.
And so you're, as I said, an informed parent, and other parents who are watching, what has to be done?
Parents need to start speaking up. They need to, first of all, take a look at the policies in their schools. They need to speak to their administrators. They need to speak to their trustees, superintendents, but they also need to speak to their politicians, speak to your MPs, MPPs, speak to just about everybody.
Politicize it.
Basically.
Good advice, Catherine. Thank you very much. 3 minutes. This country needs bold and fearless discussion of the issues that are confronting it. And the Trudeau government is censoring the news and paying other news providers. So we need to keep going. Please subscribe and please donate generously. The crew needs to be paid.